Hello there, my name is Mark, and this is Dice Tales, and today I've got 3 games of Wild West Exodus. And this was a game at the Top Table Legacy Weekender event just last weekend, based in Stockport Games, where the YouTuber Blackjack Legacy and the YouTubers from Top Table Legacy and Element Games got together to run a little bit of a convention, a 3-day gaming event. Lots of games going on, and I took part in the Wild West Exodus tournament on Sunday. I took along the Armoured Justice posse, so I'm a lawman, and my posse consisted of Morgan Earp, Pat Garrett as a face, unit type in the game. I had a hands unit of canine dogs, and then the rest of my units were support units. I had canine attack dogs, 2 with Liberty Gatling guns and 1 with an electro carbine. 2 ranger interceptors, 2 guys on a bike, and 1 unit of lawbots. So it was around about 9. So who've I got? Morgan, Pat, lawbots, gun dogs, attack dogs, and bikers. It was 1,200 points. Did I miss anything? It seems a little bit small now. I can't on my fingers. So I had 6 units, it seems. I think it seems right, actually, when I think of the pictures now. I went on to play the Warrior Nation and Enlightened, and then we had a boss battle at the end where we just, each person that turned up placed their boss on the table. We went into 2 teams, and we had a fight out, a high noon fight out. So I'm going to go into the time lapse, do a bit more talking about how the day went. So this is the first game. I had the book nearby. See if I can remember which mission we were doing. Stake a claim. First one was to stake a claim. It wasn't a treasure hunt, the next one. So this stake a claim was... It's got 2 victory points for each quarter on the enemy side that you have 1 or more of your units in. With no enemy models in, so you want to completely wipe out quarter of the table and get your units into it. That's the deal. And then this game has a clever mechanic of having adventure cards. They're called Guts and Glories cards. They can either add to your activations and powers that turn, or they can give you points for killing and fulfilling the objective on the cards. More often than not, killing a type of unit like a hands unit, base unit, or a boss unit, most commonly. So this is quite an open table, and unfortunately, for the first game, we do a lot of the action outside of the camera's lens, unfortunately. So he's got an off-camera. He's got an elk on the very right. He's got Ghost Wolf in the middle there. You can just see on the right of the video. He's got the Apache Kid behind the middle building on the top right there. A unit of Hands, Braves, another unit behind the bank at the back, a Shaman unit, I forget the name of, and the Sky Stallion with grenade launchers. You can just see him on the table there, and he's going to be moving behind that saloon. Bring down my lawbots. My lawbots, you can see there, they've just been joined by Pat Garrett, so I deployed behind that big stone structure on the left. I have my attack dogs right at the bottom of the screen, you can just see by the cards. My canine gun dogs just above them, and my interceptor bikes just around that area as well. To the right of me, there was a Union player playing another lawman who had Helena Miller. Is that the agent boss? Flies around on a jetpack. And on the left-hand game, that was... might have been Jesse James' crew from the Red Oak box and a few extras. Versus the Enlightened. There was 6 of us. So Enlightened, Warrior Nation, Jesse James, my lawman, Helena Miller lawman, General Custer for the Union. So Ghost Wolf is... yeah, that's legendary Ghost Wolf in sort of werewolf spirit form. He's a beast, so when I hit him, he makes me reroll my successful hits. When I wound, if those go through, if he fails what we call a guts check, he gets to reroll that. So I did my best to try and get him stunned. and going down with my Gatling guns, nothing could punch him. Shrugged everything I threw at him off. I misplayed one rule. I had grenade launchers on these bikes, and because they're indirect, they can potentially go wide by a D5 inches. And unfortunately, I forgot you can spend an action point to remove that. So if I hit him, I could have hit him. Originally, I planned for them to sort of scout around, hide behind buildings, chuck the grenades over buildings, but forgetting that very important rule isn't very good. The Brave player is also, the Warrior Nation player, has also got a few teleporting totems around. Taken one of them out by the bank. And trying to get Pat Garrett again, get in on the action on Ghost Wolf. So this game you're generally trying to roll so that your stats on your card is adding, and the number of the dice you roll adds up to more than 10, and that makes it successful. So say you had an aim of 5, then to hit with a ranged weapon, ignoring other modifiers, you need a 5 on the dice. There are optional ways to reroll things, some of them the special powers like Tough and Resilience. And here, as Ghost Wolf is charging my bikes, I also forget, so there's an opportunity to do a Give Him Hell action. I could have spent fortune to shoot him as he attacked me. Great there. I think round about now his elk is attacking my attack dogs on the bottom left off the screen. You're going to see his elk coming to view shortly. My lawbots are gunning at the hands unit and surviving the grenades of the Sky Stallion up there. Dice is depicting the turn that we're on. So the Warrior Nation has scored. What's he scored? So he scores about 5 Guts and Glory adventure cards, so he's about 5 points ahead of me. So he's just wiped out my hands unit. I think the attack dogs are a hands unit. Else is support for me. Oh, what was I saying? I was saying this is Legendary Ghost Wolf. There is a non-legendary version of him. And I do wonder about some of the stats, because my Morgan Earp, the card that came with the box, has been changed a little if you go to the online card, and he's actually lost his fortune. And some of the bosses I saw today, like Ghost Wolf and General Custer, they have way more fortune than me. I don't know why I've been tweaked down. Feeling quite outnumbered at this point. He's definitely got, I think he's got about 10 activations, 10 units. Going into turn 3, knowing that Ghost Wolf is pretty much, and the Elk is going to take out my dogs. I'm just going to try and score 1 point from a Guts and Glory card. I need to kill one of his hands units. So I do a similar play to last time. I move Morgan to shoot, and then move to my face. He doesn't get into revolver hand range. He's only using his rifle, which is good for sniping. I think I'm about to lose Morgan up here. It's a good game. I like the world. I like the monsters and the models. This feels a bit more monstery than Cowboys vs Aliens, because he's brought his big nasty bosses. I like it when it's small skirmish games and it's like the 8 main posses, like the Wayward 8, such like that. But this is the first time I've sort of played against Warrior Nation, for one, and played against a legendary unit, so I'm not too sure what tactics I should have used to take him down. And with it only being 1200 points, I don't know what units I could have used to tie him up. Probably I did the right thing by throwing all my guns at him. I think I should have been... He was the only thing in range, to be honest. The next turn he charged and took me out. So I can't think of how I would have redone this game. Might be a list thing, I'm not sure. If you've got any comments on that, let me know. Second game was much better, so do stick around for the second hyperlapse. That was versus the Enlightened. And then the last game was a bit of fun. Gotta shrink my pictures, I forgot to do that. Right, second game. What's this one called? Supply Run. So you're going to score a point. At the end of each turn, a player scores victory points for each supply token they control. It is controlled if you have one or more models within 3 inches. No enemy models within 3 inches. Right, I make a mistake on the first turn, so I'm moving my Lawbots up in the middle. He's got gun dogs and a face unit down that bottom left-hand side. The gun dogs just come in. I move Pat Garrett up, completely underestimating the quick and the dead rule, and his gun dogs come in and gun me down. I move my gun dogs up as a counter and completely gun down his gun dogs. It's a great first exchange. My gun dogs aren't tasked, so I also get a shot at his base unit. And then my bikes, who I've decided I don't want the grenade launchers on them, so I've decided I'm taking them off for this game. So I'm minus 30 points because of that, of the 1,200 list, and they take out the other face unit that we briefly saw behind the rock on the bottom there. There's another face unit in, but because I remember the give him hell rule, and put him into disordered. And on the next turn, when my dogs move on to the gallows there, they can take him out as well as also taking out the constructions in the middle. Got Morgan and the Lawbots being Tin Man-ish. Going up the middle there, so Tin Man means if they're shoulder to shoulder, they get extra grit. Right, my dogs have just charged his large construct. They could have gone for one of the objective points, but instead I think I prefer to take out something large with a Gatling gun. He's really running low on points. He's got 2 face units, and when I killed the construct, it turned into a Hex Beast. I like that about the Enlightened. I like their mad science. I like the Hex. I like the Hex alien story. And Michael, who I'm playing against here, has done a great job painting up this army. His Enlightened army. I play so many games I don't quite get around to painting some of them. Just an interlude, that's General Custer there. We'll get to the still photos at the end. There's some good ones of that battle. I don't know what's going in, that's just taking photos when we're having a tea break and such like that. Right, so Helena Miller, General Custer and Morgan Earp on the right. They're all doing their best to get their Tin Man bonuses or their lady bonuses and such like that. Who was that lady? Wasn't Byron, who I played against before? It's a new boss, really Enlightened there. That's Jesse James and Ghost Wolf. Devastating the first game that we just watched. So on the first turn, the female Enlightened goes forward and throws a thermite grenade and disorders both of my colleagues. So I move forward to try and dispatch her. I actually don't go into close combat. I stay just short and blow her away with a disruption. I try to get the Jesse James and the lady in the template weapon, and I missed both of them, unfortunately. Custer does survive the first round or two of Ghost Wolf's attack. I think it's only the third one that actually goes down because they've both got so many rerolls and so many fortune tokens. I don't know where Helena Miller's gone. She's flying around. She's behind the clock tower at the moment. Looks like Ghost Wolf has just eaten Morgan Earp, and now everyone is chasing Helena Miller. Oh, fun little aside. I don't think we had time. Well, I don't know if there was trying to stick to tournaments rules and things. We were actually very slow in the first round, so we didn't get to play a full game on the third round. But people decided it would be fun to stick around and do that boss fight, the high noon boss fight. So yeah, I won one, lost one, and the lawman with the agents on Helena Miller, I believe he went on to win the tournament. I forget who was second. I think it was probably Warrior Nation, to be honest. I'm not too sure if it was Union. Forget if it might be on the Element website. If you look at the tabletop, top table Legacy Weekender, I'm sure there are videos on that on YouTube. I'll see if I can get them linked when I find them. Or maybe they can comment on the videos below as well, and you can find them that way. So this is just things that you couldn't see. Behind the bank from game 1, my Lawman taking shots at the Hands unit, and they eventually killed that Hands unit and scored my point. Hooray! 1 point to, I think it was around about 8 in the end, because he did take out my Lawman and was on my side of the table with me having no units. Gunman, Gundogs versus Ghost Wolf. Bikes coming in to support my gun dogs. Attack dogs barking as a giant flaming moose elk comes around to charge them. Trample. Sniper shots from Pat Garrett and Morganup. That's not Morganup's model. So Morganup looks a bit normal, like the other Hands units, I think is what I'm trying to say there. So I end up using, I think that is Virgilope. Hands units coming from around the bank, coming to engage. Bows and arrows against the lightning. Elk, Patchy Kid. And this was the other game, so this was the Union versus Lawman. And some nice photos here, because they mostly painted army, or at least hands and face, which does a lot to just make them look up. There's Helena Miller. It's a groovy jetpack. And this was Jesse James's posse, so he's mostly Red Oak, with a couple of the gun dogs that he got in one of the magazines a few months back. And it looks like an extra Hands unit of gunslingers and bandits. This is details of the gallows. You can see there's a face unit and a dogs unit in the top left there, and these rolling wheelchair type half man, half machine constructs. And my bikes. They've taken off the dead units here. Didn't bother to pose for the photos and show what's died. Similar one. This looks cool. This looks like a good fun shootout. Don't know if that's a trap or something in the middle there. Custer's shots. Custer's men coming out, emerging from the trees into the village. People flying about on roofs. Armoured bikes. Guys on roofs. Agents going into the middle of the game. And someone did take out, I think it was Jesse James, took out Ghost Wolf with a Hands unit. Don't know specifics of the story, but here's a photo of him dealing with the elk. Looks like he's got it very well in hand with everyone surrounding it. This is me taking out the construct with the Hex Beast. And he had a very good final turn on that. I had the range on him most of the time, but when he got close with those thermite grenades, he wiped out this Lawbot posse. The explosion of the Hex Beast wiped out most of my dogs. I think 1 or 2 survived. And the lady there who threw the thermite in the boss battle, she also took out all the gun dogs, if you look closely at that time-lapse again. But she was still outnumbered by the bikes, Morgan himself. So we called it there, because he couldn't score any more points, while I would have been able to score points and still attack him. And this was a boss battle, just as Ghost Wolf engages. And if we both stuck next to General Custer, we would have had a grit of 9, something ridiculous like that, only failing on aces, Dead Man's aces, which you can't be re-rolled. So maybe we didn't have a great battle plan there, or didn't stick to, we had the great battle plan, but we didn't stick to it. And this is a Flying Shaman. I don't know if I mentioned that in the time-lapse bit before. And the Elk and the Sky Stallion. Pretty cool model. And yeah, back around to the beginning. So, Wild West Exodus was played at Top Table Legacy Weekender. Great game. This was on the Sunday. It was Kings of War Vanguard on Saturday. And then pick-up games of Gaslands and Kill Team on a Friday. There was a Kill Team tournament. I don't think I need to go into that really in the video. There was a Kill Team tournament. I couldn't join that one because it was at the same time as my Vanguard tournament. But yeah, if you're here and interested in Kill Team, these were my. Couldn't take as many detailed notes because it was a convention and tournament type environment. So I'm very, very happy that my opponents agreed to let me film them. And that's it. I think I'll say Mark from Dice Tales, signing off. Thank you very much.